y'all are the only titty bar in Chuckalisa, and y'all are not doing good. You don't got no hookah, you don't have no money gun. And one of my boys told me that your stripper bought it in his lap. When I heard that, I said, "Dear Toy, oh my God." Because earlier in the episode, we see Toy and her stinking booty self tearing the bathroom up. Ma'am, this is a shared space. Go outside. Go in the bushes. There's so many woods back there. Grab you some toilet tissue and go in the woods, girl. What is wrong with you? This is a shared space. I can't stand. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective. And today I'm coming at you with another review for the rewatch of P-Valley. This is season 1, episode 2, entitled Scars. And I'm going to do a little bit different. I want to do some things differently in terms of the format of this video because I don't want it to be too long, but I do want to make sure that I hit the highlights, okay? So if you're new to my channel, I cover books, TV, movies, anything you can formulate an opinion on. That's what we talk about down here in this on this channel. So feel free to join the community, subscribe, get down in the comments, let me know what you think. And of course, I invite you to rewatch P-Valley with me. Let's get into this review. Is that we get to learn a little bit more about Clifford and his role at the Pynk. We get to learn a little bit more about the club and how it operates. So this was kind of more of like a giving us more information about the club and how it really is an ecosystem for the people that work within it and the people that even attend. I'm not acting like this is a a golf club or something like country club, but even for the people who come and enjoy the entertainment. So it's a very delicate ecosystem. And I love to see the interactions between all of the characters and how one decision of one character, how there's a trickle down effect for other characters as well. So I love the way that they pose that. So first scene, I'll describe first scene and then we'll go character by character. So the first scene opens up because it's really important and probably one of my favorite scenes of the episode, just because it's so risque. But the episode opens up with Houdini, Freaks Come Out at Night. Y'all know the song, The Freaks Come Out at Night. The Freaks Come Out at Night. I didn't hit that note right. Freaks come out at night. The freaks come out. The freaks come out. You know that song, right? And you see the face of this lighter hued man, and we're like, is this a white man? You're looking, trying to figure out who it is. And he is in the paradise room. He is full frontaled, all the things are being shown. And that's another thing I love about this show is that they do not discriminate, right? If they're going to show women, they're also going to show the men as well. So I appreciate that because oftentimes you don't really see that. And he is a BDSM client, right? He likes whips and chains and handcuffs, smack a little booty up in. Yeah, y'all remember the song Ludacris? Not to Ludacris, right? So he is a BDSM client, and we see him in the Paradise Room with Mercedes and Mississippi, and he's into like the slave kinky stuff. I don't know the proper term for it. Get down in the comments if you know what it is, because I didn't even want to Google it. Okay. Like I was afraid to Google it before I got onto I was afraid. So, with that being said, we're seeing all of this going on. The door is cracked, and we see Autumn Night she's entertaining a client as well. And Diamond is seeing her trying to see what's going on in the Paradise Room. He quickly, blocks her field of vision or view or her view and slams the door and says, "Pay attention to your own client." And that kind of gives you the idea that what happens in the Paradise Room stays in the Paradise Room. What happens at the Pynk stays at the Pynk. That had happened, right? We to seeing that customer knows Clifford. Okay, the customer knows Clifford. They have a bond. You can tell because they greet each other with the soul clap. You know how black men, they dap each other up and do the thing. You know how black men do. They do the soul clap, and we're like, okay, so he's built a rapport with Clifford. He respects him. And that's another thing that I love about this show. That yes, there may be, and that's actually towards the season, I think it's second season, where we start to kind of see a little bit of the actually in this episode, but it wasn't it wasn't as widespread as I thought it would be, right? The homophobia, the anti-trans, like all of that kind of stuff. I expected it to be rampant in this show, but it actually is not. You see it here and there. We get our first glimpse of it on this episode at the car wash, but it's not as rampant as you would think that it would be, right? And I'm glad, because I don't want to see that on my TV screen. Okay, I don't want to see that foolishness, right? So although it is a real part of life, I don't want to, I no, I don't want to watch that. I don't want to see it, right? All right, so shout out to Uncle Clifford, because Uncle Clifford comes with that outfits, baby. His hair is going to be done, the outfit is going to be together, the makeup is going to be did, okay? And he is walking around the club greeting this BDSM client. We would later find out his name is Corbin. He is dressed in this Frida Kahlo-esque garb, this beautiful, right, halo braid with the halo flowers, and this kind of like Tejana kind of Mexican. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I love it, hands down. I think this is probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite look. We'll rate his looks, but look, he looked amazing. He looked amazing. We see in this first scene, I'm giving you the first scene, and then we'll get into the rest of the episode. Autumn Night is working on the table. She hasn't provided any papers. And here's what we find out a lot about the club, right? You would think that in a strip club, they probably would allow prostitution to happen. Like, as long as it's not said, right? What's understood is what's understood. Maybe tax event, like all kinds of potential criminality. We associate those kinds of things with, exotic dancers, strip clubs, titty bars, things like that. Well, Uncle Clifford wanted to set the record straight, and I feel like he set the record straight in this episode. We don't have prostitutions, ain't no hoes in this house, okay? We don't do tax evasion. I'm gonna need your papers. Okay, everybody's a 1099, everybody's an independent contractor, but I still need to see your tax papers. I need to see some ID. Okay. And you're not gonna be able to get out of it. But Autumn Night, obviously, we know that she doesn't have proper ID, because we don't know who the hell this lady is. We still don't know who the hell she is. Okay. And so she's talking to for like, listen, I know my tape was being paid under the table. Why can't I just go to that? He was like, listen, I know you may think, I know you thought that this place of business was potentially corrupt and whatnot, but it's not. Get your together, Summer's Eve. And that's another thing. Clifford Zingers, he was on one this episode, Summer's Eve. He called Lil Murder ASAP Nobody. I was hollering. I'm like, I forgot about how funny this show, y'all. Please rewatch. Okay, so that's how the first clip opens up. All right, and now let's get into character by character, because it was a lot of moving parts. So let's get to Mercedes first. Mercedes, we already know she has a dance troupe. She is interested in buying a gym, a studio for the girls, because right now they're dancing and practicing on school tracks, out in the parking lot. It's just not the place for the young girls to be trying to practice and dance, anything like that. And so she put together a deal with her mother that she would allow her mother to hold the money that she's been making while she's been dancing, hold the money, and her mother would use that money, not spend it, but use it and put it up as collateral so that her church can get a loan. Now, we don't know what the loan is for, but it's a typical Black church, child. It's probably for the building fund they've been trying to build for the last 20 years. Right? And the only reason why Mercedes is allowing her mother to hold this money is because of the church loan. Now, we find out that Patrice Woodbine has been trying to reach out to her, but she's been avoiding Patrice because she want her money and she don't want to talk to her mother. We also find out that Mercedes got a crush on this man that stay across the way. He's on house arrest, and baby, okay. We also find out he's a big fan of Mercedes and that he's going to do whatever he can to get to her last dance. And I'm here for that. We're here for that. She also has a big ass dog named Blackie Mile. When I heard that, I say, Mercedes, girl, you about to play. Girl, I love it. I am here for it. Let's move on to let's move on to Uncle Clifford, right? Because I feel like the episode really focused on Clifford right now and the issue that he's dealing with and all of the pressure that he's under. Uncle Clifford had gotten the final notice. We already knew he was having some financial issues in the first episode, but they didn't give us the depth of what the issues were. But this episode, we find out that he's 55 stacks. 55 stacks in the hole. Clifford is convinced that this car wash that he's planned, the annual car wash that he planned, is going to bring in more money than anybody can stand on. But Big L says, listen, ain't enough money or ain't enough cars in Chuckalisa that you can wash to cover this $55,000 debt, right? Clifford said, listen, don't worry about it. I got this. Do not worry about it. I got it. Now we know that Clifford is saying, I got it, but he don't know he don't know how the hell he gonna have this. He don't know, y'all. He don't know, and we don't know either. All right. We also see this that still murder's still around, right? Peddling his music. Now, he comes back to Clifford, asking him, "Listen, I paid you a certain amount of money. I paid you some stacks, right, so that you could play my song, and you didn't deliver." And Clifford said, "Listen, I can't make the choices that were made. I can't control. I can't control people. If they don't want to dance to your music, that's what it is." Murder also mentions, "Listen, I also gave you a choice as well to give you the D, and you was like, nah, you can't handle it." Said, ah, ah, what's going on? What's going on? I was under the assumption that that something actually happened in the Paradise Room, but I guess it didn't. I guess it didn't. Not yet, at least. Okay. There was some flashbacks going on, but I couldn't tell if it was real or if it was just, I don't know. We don't know. Later on in the episode, we Hook quit on Clifford and he's struggling. This is where their partnership is made, right? So not only do they need to be, partners in the bedroom and whatnot, partners in life, they're also you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Okay. So Uncle Clifford said, I'm hearing your music because he got a new song. He said, but it still sounds like more slop. What you need to do is get with DJ Never Scared. He can help you out. With that being said, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. Look, I was gonna call him Little Uncle Murder. Little Murder says, listen, y'all are the only titty bar in Chuckalisa, and y'all are not doing good. You don't got no hookah, you don't have no money gun. And one of my boys told me that your stripper bought it in his lap. When I heard that, I said, dear Toy, oh my God. Because earlier in the episode, we see Toy and her stinking booty self tearing the bathroom up, ma'am. This is a shared space. Go outside. Go in the bushes. There's so many woods back there. Grab you some toilet tissue and go in the woods, girl. What is wrong with you? This is a shared space. So we get to Andre, Autumn Night, and the Kyle brothers. So again, from the beginning of the episode, the BDSM client that we talked about, or were introduced to, named Corbin, we find out that he was I don't want to call him illegitimate child, but he was an outside baby. Let's just say that, right? His mother was black, his father was white. Father had two other children that were fully white. And when the father passed, he included Corbin in the will. Now, he never acknowledged his existence when he was alive, but when he passed, he ended up giving him a claim in his land. And so we find out that Andre, who was introduced to Autumn Night in the first episode, he is a Morehouse educated attorney who is representing a company called Promised Land. Now, Promised Land Equity is looking to purchase land from the Kyle brothers, all three of them, right? But Corbin does not want to sell. The two white brothers want to sell because they just want to get a lump sum, but Corbin is looking at the long money. He says if we lease this land, we can get money up to 60, 70, 80 years. You never know, right? And so the Kyle brothers are at odds because the two white brothers don't want, right? The two white brothers want to hurry and sell. The biracial brothers looking like, listen, you need to understand generational wealth, right? If you set your money up right, you could be making money in your sleep. And so we see Andre in the middle of a cotton field. This is where he tried it. One of the Kyle brothers came out. I forgot what his name was. He was like, "Why don't you pick it? Why don't you picking cotton?" He purposely knew what he was doing. I said, "Ooh, that's you gotta. That's some strong strength there. You got to." I don't know if I don't know if he would have gotten cussed out or not. He probably would have had it been me. But anyway. So he is talking to the brothers. He's saying, "Listen, let me go talk to Corbin. I will talk to Corbin and convince him how good of a deal this is if you accept it from Promised Land Equity." So this is where Andre goes back to the Pynk and sees Autumn Night again. Now you know he is enthralled, like, baby. The man is over the moon with Autumn Night. Listen, okay. We also find out he's in a relationship. We don't know how serious the relationship is, but brother got somebody at home. He has somebody at home. So he goes to the Pynk because Corbin frequents the Pynk, and that's what the Kyle brothers told him. Go down to the Pynk. He's always there. They are in the middle of, I don't want to say contract negotiation, but business discussion. And the ladies are observing the conversation. And Mercedes, with her third eye, you know, Mercedes has that like third eye where she can sense something is wrong or right. She knows who's got the money and who doesn't. She says, "One man in the club looking to spend money, two men in the club looking to make money." I said, "I know that's right, child. I put that down in my mental Rolodex for future purposes." Okay. And so Autumn goes in and she wants to try to, get a dance and see if she can figure out what's going on with Andre. Now, Andre is again supposed to be this upstanding, Morehouse educated man, and he doesn't have any vices. He doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, he doesn't do anything. And it's kind of coming off a little self-righteous, just a bit, right? Just a bit. And so Corbin is thrown when Autumn, I was gonna call her Autumn's Night. When Autumn Night comes in and says, "Hey, Andre," Corbin was like, "You know her? How the hell she know your name if you so good and pure and holy and whatnot?" He said, "Yeah, I just met her, right? I just met her." Uh-huh. Yeah, right. So she starts dancing for him, and Mercedes comes into the room as well. And she basically pits not Corbin, Andre, to try to figure out which one you want to pick. He says, "Do you want some brown or do you want some white?" I said, "Why did you do that, Mercedes? It's the tackiest thing. We know he's going to pick white. He literally said white." It's like that scene, that scene made me just I was so over it. I was over it. Over it. Mercedes walks away. He ends up getting a dance from Autumn Night. Corbin ends up leaving, right? I think he ends up getting a call or something. Autumn Night and Andre are left alone. She gives him a lap dance and they show each other their scars. She is showing him her C-section scar and he shows her the scar he has on his chest. Now, I know this was supposed to be a romantical moment, but I am not rooting for them. I actually would just want to hurry up and get past it because I don't care about, I do not like them. I do not like them at all. And so he shows the scar of his heart. He said he was born with his heart outside of his chest. I wanted to Google that, but I was afraid to see what I was gonna like. Sometimes I be want to Google stuff, but then I'm like, what exactly is going to pop up on these images? I may not be prepared for what I find. Okay. And so in that moment, Andre is they're kind of being vulnerable and talking to each other. Autumn Night is telling him about what he can do in terms of setting up a business in Delaware, create a shell company if you decide to, collect this money. Delaware has like great taxes, great, you can protect your money based off of the state regulations in Delaware. And he's looking at her like, I thought you was just a stripper. I guess not. Au contraire. Au contraire. Right? So we find out that she actually really is smarter than she looks. Like, not that she looks dumb, but people oftentimes think that strippers don't know anything, that they're not educated, that they're not smart. Obviously you don't know, you're not smart if you haven't to use your body, right? So we get some insight to find out that she actually is quite smart. We also see her, she kind of giving scammer tea just a little bit. She's giving scammer tea just a little bit because we see her using Lakeisha Savage, the ID that she found in the first episode. We see her using that ID to transfer money. Prior to that, we see her on the phone, on a portable phone, or what is it called, payphone. Maybe I haven't seen a payphone in so long. We see her on a payphone on the phone with FEMA trying to go through the fake IDs that she, or the real IDs, the IDs that she has, to determine if the person is passed on, have they been identified, are they deceased, are they still alive, can I still use this? She looks at Lakeisha Savage. That person is still not identified and is not deceased, so she can use that ID. She also whispers the name Montavious Hill. Now, there's one more piece that I completely forgot to mention. So we know that Lakeisha Autumn Night, whoever her name, Haley, whoever she is, this mysterious scammer girl, we know that she doesn't have an ID, a legit ID. It's legit, but it's not her. Okay. So we know that she does not have her own ID and that she's using Lakeisha Savage's ID. So she takes this ID after trying to verify to make sure that this person isn't deceased with FEMA. She takes that ID, goes to Uncle Clifford, presents it to him. Now, Uncle Clifford wasn't born yesterday, okay? He looks at it and says, "Oh, you Scorpios are pretty or something. What kind of cake do you want?" And she was like, "Chocolate." He said, "Yeah." "Uh-huh, you lying heifer." She was like, "What you talking about? I do like chocolate." He said, "No, Scorpios aren't born in May." I said, "Oh, now, girl, how did you not look at the ID? Why did you not look at it? If you're going to go around and say that this is the person that you are, you need to be studying everything, remembering what an address is, remembering the birthday, all that, the height, all of it, all of that, girl, at least. Come on now. But I guess, if she had remembered it, then it wouldn't have set up the scene for the next thing. All right. So because Clifford knows that this is a fake ID, he says, so I know that you've been getting cozy with Andre. Okay. I know you've been getting cozy with him. And I'm finding out through Autumn Night and a few other people, like I'm assuming that Andre represents Promised Land equity, and through Corbin, that's how he finds out a little bit more about Promised Land equity and them selling the property, the Kyle brother estate or the Kyle estate. He asked Autumn Night, well, not really asked her, not really asked. He tasked her with, if you are able to get more information for me, about what's going on with this deal, I'll let you go on. I'll let you go on, but I need you to get information from me or for me about this deal. And because you and your little friend Andre have built such a rapport, because Andre left her a stack, I'm gonna need you to get this information by any means necessary. Whichever lips work, the top or the bottom, whichever ones you want to work, right? I need this information. And so later on that night, we see that Autumn Night and Haley Autumn Night, Summer's Eve, whatever her name, Lakeisha, she's on the bed and she calls Andre. Andre's on the phone with the woman, and this is his girlfriend or wife or significant other. And he gets the phone, he answers it, clicks over, answers it, finds out that it's Autumn, Haley, Lakeisha Savage, hangs up with the girlfriend, wife, significant other, gets back on the phone with her, lying to the lady, said, "Ooh, ooh, 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 ooh," not Mr. I don't have a vice, not Mr. I'm an upstanding man. Clicks back over with Haley. And baby, they commence to having the phone sex on the hotline, baby. Did not like the scene. I was like, ugh. Ew. Now, earlier we see her at the car wash, right? At the Pynk's car wash. And all they were Mercedes and the Pynk's car wash. Mercedes and Autumn Night were tasked with cleaning Mayor Ruffin's SUV. And she ends up having a PTSD moment, or a moment where she was kind of panicking, and you can see her kind of seeing what happened a little bit prior to the storm and to the act of God. So apparently she was locked into the car. Water was coming from everywhere and she's trying to come out. Now, this is not actually happening, but in her mind can't tell the difference. So she's trying to panic and get out. She's screaming, yelling. She finally gets out of the sunroof. runs out of the car, jumps out of the car, and everyone's looking around her like, "What's going on, girl? Are you okay?" She was like, "Mercedes locked me in the car," but it was actually the child lock. So we could see that she was involved in a storm and got locked in the car, and her daughter was in the car. You can see that. So we assume that because the daughter we saw on the phone, they show us a daughter on the phone, they show us a man on the phone, so we assume that it's Montavious Hill. We assume that that's how she ended up getting separated from her family, the storm, and being locked in a car. So it's still a little bit of a mystery, but she does give scammer tea. So we get a little bit like, okay, so maybe she's a scammer. Maybe she's running away from an abusive boyfriend, and or maybe she scammed her boyfriend and he was trying to get back at her for revenge. I mean, there's so many thoughts that go through your mind. Like, Uncle Clifford swears up and down that this car wash is going to bring in the money. So we are introduced to a brand new character. This is Mayor Ruffin. Mayor Ruffin is the one that put the rule or the law in place that there should be no titties and tequila at the same time. Now that doesn't even make any sense. It doesn't make any kind of sense, but I guess his reasoning is we're in the Bible that if you're gonna show us titties, then you can't have alcohol. If you're gonna have alcohol, cover up your titties. It really doesn't make sense. They actually kind of go hand in hand, but whatever, right? And so Mayor Ruffin, this is where we first get that first glimpse of homophobia. Mayor Ruffin comes in with all his little goons and they're taking pictures at the car wash trying to be seen. Uncle Clifford comes up to him and says, "Listen, I am the mayor of Chuckalissa. Okay, I'm the mayor of P-Valley, right?" And Mayor Ruffin says, "Yes, you may be the mayor of P-Valley, but I'm the mayor of Chuckalissa, all right? And you need to follow my rules." He said, "Or I'm gonna shut you down." So something tells us we find out, we get a little insight that Mayor Ruffin already knows what's going on at the Pynk, but he is not going to shut it down because why, right? And in this point where his goons are, they're taking pictures. Clifford comes in and photobombs their pictures, and all the guys are like, "Ugh, ugh." You know how straight homophobia men, oh, straight homophobic men are. You know how they are. And Mary Ruffin says, "Come on, take a picture with me, Clifford. Come take a picture." So they take a picture, and we see, okay, so Mayor Ruffin, are you on the good side? Are you on the bad side? Are you here for Clifford? We do not know yet. We can't tell, and it's very hard to see. It's very, very hard to see. I'm going to get these posted Friday. Friday is going to be the day where I'm able to get these posted. So please check it out. Tune in, watch with me. We've got good news. Good news. So the season 3 has already been greenlit. Okay. So they already have the green light for season 3 because of the writer strike, because of the actor strike. There hasn't been any movement with the show, but the writer strike is over, the actor strike is over. So, baby, stay tuned. Now, I don't know when it's gonna wrap up. We may not even see it until 2025, if we're being honest. But baby, it is coming back, and we are going to be here watching with hopeful anticipation because we love us some P-Valley, y'all. All right, subscribe to the channel. See you guys later.